So I think that's the end of our guests. And looky here, we have a total of 13 minutes. Chad, I know you've kind of been peeking. It's been a little easier for you to peek at the results up there on television. What are you seeing?
Well, before, because I don't want anybody signing off yet, we do have a special announcement. So don't anybody sign off yet. So
You want to do the special announcement?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
So, no, I've been staring at Virginia coming in about 62, 63. Numbers look solid. I still like my New Hampshire. It's still not going. They're not calling New Hampshire. If you look at Georgia, we're probably close to about 77, and that looks strong. Numbers look really good and encouraging.
He's at 5 in Georgia.
Looks encouraging. But I think the biggest shock right now is you got 65%, and I think he's up by about 500,000 votes. What's Virginia right now? No, it's not close.
40,000, 50,000 votes.
So 50,000, which again, he at 65%, you think he would even be, would that be shaded red? No, that'd be shaded blue. So, I mean, these are all interesting signs.
Go over New Hampshire as well. Let's take a look there. 42% in. You know, this is still a big, it looks like a bigger win for Harris with 30,000 votes. You know, that's probably too far. Where's our little? Can you move over to Iowa and that's
Still
just 12.
12%.
In. You know, that's probably just early vote, and so
Yeah.
And then go over to New Mexico with also 12% in. Left of Texas there.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Here, I'm going to give this to you.
So New Mexico, 12% in. I mean, this is a little bit of a surprise. You know, after early votes, just 4,000 votes separating, you know, Trump and Harris in New Mexico with 12% in. So this is that's another lean Democrat state that I think after early voting, you know, the Harris campaign would probably be expecting to be up somewhere in the 30,000 vote range, and they're up 4.
And how about OH?
And Ohio has trended extremely huge for Trump.
So that's gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've called Ohio.
Yeah.
They've called North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming. As we're going across the country, the one thing that is interesting here, there are no surprises in favor of Democrats. There's no surprises in favor of Democrats. Even North Carolina is. You know, we're now Trump with a 3-point lead with 55% in. I expect that to continue to grow despite the gubernatorial race there. Like you said, Georgia is 5-point lead, 77% in. So this is not Wisconsin. You know, we're looking at 40,000 votes with 30% in. You know, as you know, Biden won Wisconsin by about 22,000 votes. So you could, again, you look at, these are probably early votes, and we know that they trend Democrat. They've been trending Democrat everywhere in the country. Pennsylvania is now less than 100,000 vote lead for Harris. So that's, while she's in the lead, you always rather be up than down for sure.
Absolutely.
But you, with just 36% of the vote in, you have to be concerned if you're the Harris campaign with only 100,000 vote lead in Pennsylvania with 2/3 of the votes ready to go. So you look at this map, and we're not in bad shape. You would like to always be up in all those states, but when you start looking at what are likely the votes that have been counted, which are those early votes that trend Democrat, you're going to. This is not a bad map for Donald J. Trump tonight.
No.
So we have listener Kurt Wood said that wish you guys were going late for West Coast analysis.
Well, Kurt, we appreciate you, and we may do that next time. This was ambitious. This came together. Chad, I want to thank you for number one being a part of it, but number one. I put the two first because number one, you inspired it. You were like about 2 weeks ago, you're like, what are you doing on election night? And I said, well, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, trying to call and get on one of the news stations. And he's like, why are you doing that? You've done all these podcasts. Let's just do a podcast together. And Jennifer was nice enough to say, hey, I'm going to be part of it. She's been trying to drive the computer as well as she can.
And bring comedic entertainment, right?
And
Well,
good-
you could have done a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
You did okay for your first podcast.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you did too. You did too.
I think we all
I did okay
so,
for my
yeah.
50th podcast, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
sorry. Here we
maybe
go.
you know, you see
We may need to
Muck
move
your
muck,
on.
I know.
trajectory, your
Hold on.
trajectory is still up. Mine is maybe plateaued. So I'm sure.
Oh, has it plateaued?
Yeah, maybe that's what you're saying. That's what I heard.
So-
You know, so Chad, thanks for
My
being
pleasure,
here.
my
But we
pleasure.
do have about 8 minutes left here.
So, do you want to do our announcement?
I think the floor is yours.
Well, can I have the mouse
Yes.
back? And I think Kareem is going to put up. Hold on one second. And Chad, this is where you're going to use your voiceover. And Kareem, if you could put up the logo on the screen so people can see. This is going to be our big announcement. Oh, that's not the right one. Not the right logo.
That's
It's
the
that-
logo for tonight.
That's the logo for tonight.
Oh, then I don't have another logo. I only have this logo and the other live.
Look
I
at-
think you sent me the other.
Yeah, look at the email I sent you on the 4th at 3:47. It's attached to that. And the subject line is logo and info. So it looks like we had a great, so Jonathan Hogue said, you guys have done a great job, excellent analysis, great guest. Don't hang up, Jonathan. We got stuff coming. So we got quite a few. Let's see. We had someone from an alum that was lost back here, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. Let's see.
So Kansas, looks like Trump is now pulling ahead in Kansas.
Yeah, well, I kind of thought. Well, it was funny because we did get John in at the perfect time because those first early votes had come in and it was blue, and I thought I would throw him for a loop, and he was just like, "No, that's
In Topeka, this is how it's
He's
done.
like, this is, you know, the state capitol reports here first, so it looks blue for a few minutes to give some encouragement to those in Nevada and Arizona to come and vote, and then the rural counties take over and sweep the rest of the state, which is exactly what's happening. So,
Well, we still got a battle on here, so I'm a little nervous, though, with Pennsylvania, Michigan.
yeah, they're all saying that all of these are too early to call,
I know.
and you know, if they were leaning Democrat by 3 points with 78% in, they probably call them. You know, which I'm speaking of North Carolina specifically on that one. Georgia is, I think, too.
Georgia's gone. That's in our column.
Georgia's going to be in our column for
Georgia.
sure.
Georgia.
And so,
All right.
you have to think that New Hampshire 21,000 votes doesn't sound like much. It sounds like a race in Duval County, but that's the nature of the Electoral College, that New
Yes.
Hampshire gets those 2 extra votes because of states' rights that we went over earlier.
You know, my vote in Florida is nowhere near as powerful as the vote in New Hampshire.
Well, that is
Yep.
probably from a percentage standpoint true.
Oh, statistically, I mean,
Yeah.
your vote in Montana is much more powerful than your vote in Texas.
But if everybody's going to vote a certain way, then
Oh.
it's...
And there we are. Chad,
Okay.
here's the news. Here
There
is
we
the
go. We got
exciting
a
Breaking
logo.
news, breaking news. Introducing Reasonable Arguments, News and Nonsense. A lively new podcast with husband and wife duo Jamie Miller and Jennifer Bash. Jamie, a political expert, and Jennifer, a curious learner. Bring a fresh and accessible take on current events, blending insightful commentary, and lighthearted touch. In each episode, the first half dives into politics and news, with Jamie guiding Jennifer and the audience through complex issues in a way that's easy to understand. The second half, that's where things get a little unpredictable as the pair explores topics ranging from pop culture to quirky trivia and all the curious rabbit holes in between. perfect for listeners who enjoy informed discussions without taking everything too seriously. Reasonable Arguments, News and Nonsense is coming soon to your favorite streaming platform. Get ready for thoughtful debate, spontaneous tangent, and plentiful laughs. Reasonable Arguments.
Yes.
News and nonsense.
News,
Non-stop action.
news and nonsense.
How exciting is that, babe?
I don't know.
I guess it's for real now.
We will see. Yeah, this is so we
Hey, don't forget to follow and subscribe.
I was
go
telling
ahead.
more about
Go.
The podcast.
I just got the
so
directions.
news and nonsense is because God, please don't make me talk about politics all the time. I need to be able to talk about something that's actually interesting and fun. Just kidding. It's
So
all,
you're going to talk about me.
Oh yes, no, I'm sure
Interesting
you're
and
going to
fun?
talk about
well,
you.
I thought you were going to throw my quote back in my face where you said, well, Mama always said, if you can't say something nice, call it interesting.
Anyway, so we will hopefully be having some funny, fun debates, and you can probably put the pictures back on us again instead of Jamie wants to see himself before we sign off indefinitely.
It's not indefinitely. We just announced a new show.
Well, that's true, but I mean for tonight.
Yeah.
Since I cannot believe that we did. It is 9:58, and we have done 4 hours.
And you guys were worried. We didn't even get to my graphics that I've spent hours putting in folders. But
That is true.
Yeah, I thought we would handle it okay. And
Well, they
I
were
think
great guests, and we have people online would love to. So Jonathan said she is going to talk about the cats,
we may talk about cats. That's
but then
for
he
sure.
also said that are we announcing a baby? And I told him to shut his face. So
I hope not, Jonathan. But
That's
that
what we
would be
got
great.
Kurt
That'd be
Bob for.
great if Curtis called in.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. Curtis, if you're watching, Kristen, if you're watching, you can call in it with some news. We've got one more minute.
Kurt's
for
on there.
our new grandbaby. No phone call.
No phone call.
Go ahead. Go
All
ahead,
right. So
Jennifer.
what's your sign off? This was
This was Reasonable Arguments election night coverage. So we may have several shows, Chad, that are Reasonable Arguments. So we're kind of branding Reasonable Arguments as I don't know, we're going to be worldwide media.
There you go.
And so
That's reasonable.
We started tonight with Reasonable Arguments election night coverage. We're going to have Reasonable Arguments news and nonsense. And who knows, maybe we'll have Reasonable Arguments the next thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to it. Jennifer, I'm looking forward to doing that with you.
we have our listeners that Jonathan, just when you said I would come to the baby shower, you would probably fall asleep just like our wedding. So
Wow.
So we the listeners that we still have online, we have some asking for the guests' socials to be able to start following them. We will give that out. If you want to be part of our mailing list, please you can email to my email, jenniferbash71@gmail.com. Send me your information, and we will get you into a list and get that information out to you, and also then give you information on when we are going to be starting our podcast.
Yeah, whatever platform you're on, follow and subscribe. We're going to do some of it on Facebook, Reasonable Argument Podcast. So you can leave questions, comments, and like the Reasonable Arguments Podcast Facebook page for now. But tonight you should have been able to see us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Rumble, and Facebook. And so hopefully we didn't have too many technical difficulties because that was an extreme lift. We want to thank
Our producers.
we
my
want to
gosh.
thank Mac Shoe Studio Productions.
Christina
and Karim.
and Kyle.
Kyle's.
It was great
They
earlier, but
they were fantastic, and to
Yeah.
sit here with us all night and do this, I'm sure they had many other great things to do other than this. But
so we want to thank you guys, and we really appreciate the studio setup and everything you did for us tonight. if you're here in Sarasota or you're visiting Sarasota, you need a good production team, or hey, if you're looking for a studio that
Pictures,
they put this
anything.
together in a couple hours. And so if you're visiting Sarasota and you have a podcast and you're looking for a studio, this is the place to do it. Max Shoe
Absolutely.
Studios, and we really recommend them highly. They've done a great job for us tonight, and we look forward to a long partnership with them.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys for being patient with me and my lack of political knowledge. And
I was
you,
going to say
you guys
computer savvy.
did.
No.
You guys did great. You guys did wonderful. So
No, it
And
was-
we want to
Great
thank
job.
we want to thank Teresa Mass for coming and being here
Oh,
in
yeah, she was
person.
great.
So that was
Yeah.
great. Our very first declared winner of the nation.
that's amazing.
In the nation tonight, county commissioner in Sarasota County. So that was a great job. And
Morgan or Ortegas, that was wonderful.
a lot of energy.
Yeah.
yeah, we had
Great,
just up and
great
down.
guests.
Everybody who came out, just and thank you all for watching. We appreciate you. We look forward to having a long partnership with you all, and with that,
And our listeners, I mean, everybody who stayed on and listened to us for 4 hours, thank you. It's amazing, and I hope that we, kept it. Jamie obviously is the guru and the expert on this, and he did a fantastic job. So thank you, everybody who supported us through this tonight.
Chad.
And can I just say one more thing? Our unfiltered voters.
Oh, thank you.
The people
Let's
who
not
sent
forget
in,
them.
the people who sent in the videos for us. That was amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
We would like to thank all of you for waiting to the last minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Chad, what do you have?
Reasonable arguments, news and excitement, nonstop action. Coming live from Sarasota, Florida. Reasonable arguments.
All right, there's our sign off.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.